Hi there guys, welcome back. Recently I was contacted by the company Oneleaf to review their NV200 Commander day and night rifle scope. But I had to pass off on that because sadly enough in the region where I live it's not allowed to own any night optic that you can mount to a rifle. So I still wanted to explore the nightlife for myself, it intrigues me very much. So therefore I asked if I could review their NV200 day and night binoculars, as you can see right here. This thing can record in 4K, it has interchangeable lenses, integrated batteries, waterproofness, it has a massive zoom and a lot more. So let's get this review started. Right, so first a little story time why binoculars like these are of my interest. Me and my wife, we like to get away from the daily rat race that normal life is. Get away, enjoy nature, be in the quietness and just have a nice relaxed time. So not so long ago we rented a cabin somewhere deep in the forest. Very beautiful little cabin, nobody around. We were just enjoying our life and the nature and everything it has to offer. When suddenly at 11 o'clock at night, when it was pitch black outside because there is no artificial light or anything, it's just the moon and the stars. We were sitting there busy on our phone reading a book. I don't know anymore exactly what we were doing when suddenly we hear stumbling at the front door, like little it looks like footsteps and a little metal noise and stuff like this. So we suddenly jump up and we wonder what's at the front door. So I armed myself with a metal stick that was standing next to the fireplace and I made my way to the front door. The front door had some tiny little windows with those red and white curtains on it. So bravely as I was, I peeked through that suddenly to the window, looking outside, spotting to see what there was. Bang! All of a sudden, I see a raccoon raiding our garbage can that we had to put out earlier because we ate some melon and some meat and stuff, and the raccoon probably thought it was very tasty and he was busy with that. So I turn myself around with a very macho face and I tell my wife, "Told you it was nothing." So it was quite a little bit of a funny story and a funny moment as well. And happy to see that we still have raccoons living in our neighborhood. Didn't know we were still having them around in the forest by us. So I got me thinking that I needed to have something to look around at nighttime to see what else is living in our forest that I don't know about or that made their way back. I know the foxes are back on their way in. So a binocular like this would come in very handy when we are going out on one of those trips. So that was a little story time. Let's take the box to the tabletop review, see what you get inside before we analyze the rest of the unit. Let's get started. So the NV200 digital night vision binoculars come in this rather colorful box, as you can see right here. We got some 4K recording, picture-in-picture view, as you can see right here. Very nice day and night binoculars. 20x digital zoom, 4K recording up to 120 feet per second, and detecting range about 1969 feet, but that's for the laser range finding module normally. Taking on the other side of the box, 4K, 120 feet per second, it can take pictures. It can receive a memory card up to 256 gigabyte. It has an HD port out when you want to mirror it to a screen or show stuff on a bigger screen, of course. It can also record integrated audio on the microphone that has included. It is water resistant, it has an IPX6 rating. Multi-coated lens, interchangeable lenses as we talked about or gonna talk about in a little bit more. Digital zoom up to 20 times, infrared LED in 8 different settings, but also more on that in just a bit. Range finding if you have the range finding module, and it has picture-in-picture mode. Not much more on the box unless for some more instructions or more stuff on it, but we'll cover all that in the coming video. So let's open the box. Of course, normally everything would be packed as nicely as it would be. I just took it already out of this plastic bag as the digital binoculars come in this plastic bag, but I took it out already to play a little bit with it and know a little bit more before I start the video, of course. You get a little bit of a cloth to wipe down your lenses. You get yourself a explanation on how certain things work. As with every product we get, you get yourself a little manual. This plastic bag can go to the side. And removing the foam, we are greeted with everything you see in the box right here. So this is your digital binoculars, as you can see right here. Feels like a very nice unit. But we'll have a close look in just a second on this one. Then, what else you get in the box? You get yourself a USB to USB-C cable for charging it, because the integrated batteries, or the batteries that come supplied, are hidden behind the covers you see right here onto the side, and the only thing you have to do is remove a little plastic tab in order to activate those batteries. But they can be recharged with that cable, with the connection right here behind that rubber stop. Then what else you get in the box? Now this doesn't come with everyone, because normally you ask for a certain lens that comes supplied with your NV200. Mine has the 50mm installed, but this is the 35mm, and that is in order to get to you a little bit of a different image, so you can see what is actually the difference between a 35 and a 50mm. But this one is optional, and you can buy it separate as well. What you see right here is the laser range module that can easily be installed with one screw onto the unit, but also more on that in the rest of the video. But this comes with the laser range finding module included, as you can see right here, or you can also buy it without the laser range finding module and buy this separate later on if you would like. Then you get here a strap to wear it around your neck, like you would do with any normal binoculars. This is a little mounting plate when you want to connect it maybe to a camera or to some other objects. With this Velcro strap, as you can see, you can strap it around something, and then you can have a nice stable platform, maybe on a pole or whatever you're using it on the outdoors for. It's nice they included this, as this one has a 1/4 inch connection for a tripod underneath. And then here on the side you get yourself a nice wipe to remove some stuff, the screws to install that laser rangefinder, and two Allen keys, as you see. Then in this, I believe this is a nice little pouch to put it in when you're out and about in nature, putting it in your backpack. You can put it in this nice pouch and then protect it from all the other stuff that is in your backpack while you're not using the day and night NV200. And that's just about everything that comes in the box. So let's take the NV200 to the table and go over all the features it offers. Right, so now that we have seen what's in the box, let's take a closer look at the unit itself. The NV200 digital day and nighttime binoculars offer a viewing experience of about 6,500 yards at daytime and 650 yards at nighttime, which is a very nice thing, of course. So the perfect companion when you're in the outdoors, hunting or whatever, or even maybe filming and ranging your targets thanks to the integrated laser range finding module that we'll see pretty soon. First impression is that it is very well and very solid built, thanks or considering the challenges you have to face when trying to fit all this technology into something that even looks like a binocular, like this one right here. The housing is made out of some kind of a very durable and nice plastic, I must say. It doesn't feel or sound any hollow. It is very nice and solid, everything, as you can see right here. And thanks to the 2-year warranty, you don't have to worry when something goes wrong. They got you covered for 2 years because it's anyway some electronics that you have right in your hands. As mentioned before on the tabletop review, it is also IPX6 rated waterproof, so no need to worry when you're out in the weather elements and it's raining or it's foggy or it's misty or whatever. Your unit is secure from all those hazards, so very nice as well. Battery life on this unit also seems to be very impressive thanks to the 3 integrated, 18650 batteries that come supplied in the box, hidden behind the cover you see right here. By undoing the 2 tabs you have right there, you can remove the cover, replace with some spare batteries that you have lying around, but the ones included are rechargeable ones thanks to the USB-C connection on the side. And they give you up to about 12 hours of viewing time, which is pretty awesome Of course, for a digital unit like this, producing so much power and having all those benefits of digital binoculars. Taking a look at the unit itself, it's also very ergonomic. It has these two handles on the side to secure it really into your hands when you're viewing through it, which is pretty cool, of course. And they also made a 1/4 inch tripod connection at the top when you want to mount it to a tripod, so then you can even have a much more stable platform when you're filming out to those very long distances. You don't want to hang on to it handheld, you want to fix it to a very solid platform to get a good image, of course. On top of the unit you can find all the buttons that are needed to activate some of the features like laser range finding, the little red dot laser, picture-in-picture mode, accessing the menu, adjusting your zoom function, zoom levels with these two right here. So all your controls are just at the top, and when you're holding the unit just like this, you have for every button a finger. When you can see just like this, it is very easy to navigate. Once you know where all the buttons are, you don't even have to look what you're pressing, you just know which finger you need to use for which button. And it comes also very much with the ergonomic feel of the unit, just like this. Really cool. Coming to the front of the unit, you can see we got what looks like two lenses right here. This is the lens, but just more in just a second. And then this one right here is your illuminated spot, actually the one that makes sure you can see at nighttime. And this one has 8 different levels of brightness that you can adjust with the buttons right here on top for the amount of illumination that you need at nighttime. So 8 different levels on this one. Then right next to the IR illuminator, the one with the cap you see here right on top, that is actually your lens. These lenses can be interchanged. It's very simple, like a DSLR. You have a button right here at the bottom. You can take out your lens and replace it with another one. At the moment I have the 50mm lens installed, and there is also a 35mm that I have in the box, which we can compare later on in the video. Soon there will also be a 70mm if I'm not mistaken, and a 100mm, but those still have to be released very soon. For daytime use you need that cover in place in order to keep a little bit of the blocking light out, and at nighttime you can remove that cover to allow as much light into the unit as possible to get a better viewing picture at nighttime, of course. The 50mm lens that is installed in this one right here has an f-stop of 1.2, which is pretty low and therefore allows a lot more light into the 6 lenses that are inside that lens that you have right here, allowing you for a better, sharper image quality over the 35mm. So probably the 50mm lens is your better bet, but we will see that later on in the video when we compare both of them. The unit also comes with a massive zoom range, as I mentioned before, 20 times magnification in increments of 0.5 all the way up to 20. So you have 40 different magnification levels on the unit as well. Therefore, you can look out in much clear detail up to those very long distances, clearly looking or seeing what you're looking at in detail. Awesome. At the back, we have the viewing display, and the magnifying glass inside is made from Japanese Ohara glass, and this in combination with a very high quality IPS panel, of course. All this in combination with a high definition CMOS sensor inside results in a very high picture quality for visible and near visible illuminated light as well. Then, as you saw on opening of the box, the unit, or the LFR unit, comes with a laser rangefinding module. This module, of course, is also available separate. You first want to buy the unit itself and later add on that laser rangefinding module. That is always a possibility, of course, as well. The laser rangefinding module measures up distances to just over 1,000 feet, 1,000 yards. So I believe it's 1,090 yards or something, or 1,009 yards, which is pretty cool as well. Installation very easy, with one screw mounting it right in between the 2 lenses at front, screwing and securing it with one screw. Therefore you can take it on or off whenever you need it. If you would just like to have it more compact, you can take it off, put it in your backpack and mount it whenever you need it. Really cool, the laser rangefinding module. The unit, as mentioned before on the box, can record in 4K up to 120 feet per second, yes, of course, and it can take pictures to about 48 megapixels if I'm not mistaken, and it has a small microphone right here on top, so you can also record audio that you're maybe talking over the footage that you're filming and everything. All this gets recorded to the memory card that you can install, and the maximum installed memory card is a 256 gigabytes I believe, and the one included in the box is a 64 gigabyte if I'm not mistaken. So you're right out of bed, opening it out of the box, taking it out, you have a memory card to record your footage as well. Taking a look here on the side, under that rubber tab that you see right here, you have all your connections. You have connections for some headphones when you're maybe listening to the video or the audio that you have recorded. You have the memory card slot where you can just slot in your memory card. You have the USB-C in order to charge the integrated batteries, and you have an HD output to mirror it, for instance, to a very large monitor, so you can have see on a large monitor what you're seeing in real life. It can also show you all the data that you have on the screen while you're looking at it on the big screen as well. Maybe it can be used for some exploring purposes, some explanations to other people. Maybe when you're filming a target, for instance, it can also be useful, so everybody else can watch the target as well while you're shooting. So pretty cool to be able to mirror it to a bigger screen, and therefore also to view your feed on a bigger monitor as well, with a lot more people at the same time. Right, that's about it. All the features, I think I covered all of them. It has a lot of features as well. There's also still a little red dot laser here at the bottom to point at a target, which is pretty cool, that I forgot to mention. But I think I covered more or less everything that there is to need to know about the features of the NV200. But I bet you're not only here to hear about its features and to see it at some close-ups, but I bet you're also here to see, of course, the real-life footage that comes out of this unit. And that's what we'll do right now. So let's head outside and I'll record you some footage with the NV200. Alright guys, so I'm using the built-in microphone. This is the 50mm lens, and when we put on the rangefinder, we can see all the way in the distance the gate with those road signs 420 meters away that it's reading. This is all the way zoomed out, so if we start zooming in now, let's go to 10 times magnification. Let me try to readjust the angle a little bit. You can also see straight away the brightness and stuff is adjusting. On the right side you see a tree with what looks on the screen some clear detail on it. So let's go to 15 times. Now of course this is a digital zoom, so you will lose a little bit more quality picture image when you try to zoom in at the long distances. Today is a little bit warm as well, so we are experiencing a little bit of mirage, as you can see on the gate. That's the heat from the road that rises up a little bit. I hope the sound goes out okay, because right next to us is a motocross track, and that's the sound you're hearing from those motocross stuff. So let's go now all the way to 20. Let's see if I can readjust the focus maybe a little bit, but I think we're almost spot on. You can see some movement and some pixelation in the picture at 500 meters away, but that is still a decent picture, I think, from looking on the screen. So now we have the 35mm lens on. We are at the same intersection location, looking at that far back road signs at the corner, 400 and what was it, 50 meters away or something. So first impression is that the field of view is a little bit wider than with the 50mm lens. What else you can see is that maybe the image appears to be a little bit more on the darker side, with a little bit of less details in the shadows and the darkness. So let's start increasing the magnification. Ten times magnification. From what I see here on the screen, the tree on the right side is a little bit less distinguished, or a little bit less detail. Going all the way to 20, and as you can see, the zoomed in at 20 times magnification is not as much as with the 50mm lens, which is pretty normal of course.
and the picture also appears to be a lot more darker, and the signs are not as clear as with the 50mm lens. So for far zooming in applications, the 50mm lens is far superior from the 35. That's why they're also going to make a 70 and 100mm, if I'm not mistaken, to get even a better pictures at longer ranges. So another viewing angle. It seems like my maximum distance at the location I'm at is more or less 400 to 500 meters. We have some construction works going on. Let's stop the rangefinder. This is all the way zoomed out. Pretty clear picture, as you can see. Start zooming in. Let's go first to 10 times magnification. Everything becomes clear. You can start seeing a little bit of the mirage. Going all the way in to 15. You can see the white balance is struggling a little bit, going up and down. Let the car pass just to make sure I don't violate any privacy rights. So let's zoom in even a little bit more to 20 times. We can make out a little bit more of the dozer that's standing there with the digger next to it. Still a little bit of trouble with the mirage. So also here 35mm, looking at those roadworks from the same spot. Again 420 meters away it was. Let's start zooming in. You have a little bit wider view of field, I think. So let's increase the magnification 10 times. Not too bad from what I see here. Going even in further to 15. You start seeing the screen getting a little bit pixelated, like almost painting like. And then going in all the way. Let's see if I can readjust the focus maybe a little bit. But that's about it. We can't zoom in as much as with the 50mm lens. The 35mm, as said before, does require, or can't zoom in as far because it's only a 35mm instead of a 50. So there you have the 35mm at the same construction works. So we are looking with a 50mm lens onto a tree line with the sun in the back, so the trees get a little bit illuminated, which should help, of course. This is all the way zoomed out, so let's go all the way in and see how much detail we keep on the tree. 10 times magnification. You can clearly see some detail on that tree, which is nice. On the left tree you can see some of the moss. Zooming in even further, all the way to 20. Of course, as it is a digital zoom, we get some pixelation as the 4K image gets all blown up 20 times, of course, in this area. Going a little bit out, maybe for a better clear picture. And at 15 times, the image is pretty good, not too bad at all. You can see the auto white balance getting its job done in order to keep it from over exposure and stuff. Not too bad. Alright, so this is night time. We're back at home. Didn't have any possibility to film at night where I was filming the daytime things, so I have to do it around the house for the moment, as I don't have any trips planned to any outdoor stuff pretty soon, so I'll have to do it right here. Now this is in my garden, looking at the far back side, which is 29 meters, and as you can see we have some vegetation in the back which lights up and gets a pretty detailed picture. In the corner you can see what's a compost thing. Of course the trees are lighting up very strong as they reflect the infrared illumination. pretty solid. So let's see if we can find another sample. And just like that, I was lucky enough to spot a wild animal roaming around in my back garden. A fierce black dog. I think he's gonna eat me pretty soon, so let me get out of his way. So at the moment we're looking at the tree 53 meters away, which is about 57, almost 60 yards, I believe. It gives a nice detailed picture of the tree without any enlargement. Let's boost it up to 5. Still nice detailed picture. Boosting it up to 10. Still okay. Let's put the flash of the rangefinder off. Going even in 13, 15. Here it starts to get blurry, and then eventually at 20 it becomes really blurry. As I mentioned with the daytime recording, of course this all gets blurry because it actually is an enlargement of a single 4K frame that gets enlarged 20 times, and therefore at its highest magnification or digital magnification, of course it has to become blurry. Now something else I want to show at the right front of the device. Yeah, you can also have the torch, and by twisting the lens of the torch you can open up where the illumination has to be, like full wide open, and then when you go out to further distances you can narrow it down like to a pretty solid beam in order for it to reach out to very long distances as well. So that's very cool. Then also on top right at front you have a button that can enhance the illumination. So now we're on level 2, level 3, level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it goes back down to 0 and then again to 1. Now it won't look like much right here because the auto brightness also of course kicks in, and when I'm pushing too much illuminated light at those leaves, of course the brightness becomes too high, and then the unit automatically puts it back down in order so you can still see a decent image. Now this is actually a very nice example. It is a crane against the night sky. At first sight it looks to be like the object turns out to be black, but once I start focusing that illuminated beam, you can see it narrows, it starts to light up the crane. This is the beam at full closure, and now let's increase the light strength, and straight away, maybe if I open up the beam again a little bit, you can see a lot more detail on that crane already. Now this is a lot too much light. Going back down at 1 or 2 or 3. I think that's a little bit like it should be. Let's zoom in a little bit. At 10 times magnification it is still okay-ish. You can make out the crosses or the crossbars that strengthen the boom of the crane. Going in further will only blur the picture more and is not really representative. But still good to see that you can change the picture so much by just focusing the beam and getting a better image quality. Now for me, where this unit really shines or has its true potential is at closer ranges, spotting maybe for some rodents in the bushes that you can then eliminate in a humane way, let's say like this. And as you can see now on the bottom of those trees you get a really nice detailed picture. Is it for the long range hunting and stuff? I don't think so. Can it be used in an open field to spot a deer and stuff like this? Yes, absolutely, I'm sure of that. So it's up to you to make out if it's something you can enjoy or benefit from while you're out in the evenings or in the dark.
Right, so there you have it guys, my review of the Oneleaf NV200 day and night digital binoculars If you have any questions regarding the unit, please leave them in the comment section down below. This also helps to boost the algorithm of my videos and therefore give my channel a little bit more exposure. As always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I catch you back in the next one.